The AI answer that causes trouble usually does not look broken. It looks polished. It arrives in seconds, with a calm tone, tidy paragraphs, and details that feel like someone did the research. Ask about a historical figure, and it gives you a neat life story. Ask which product to buy, and it compares strengths and weaknesses. Paste in a programming error, and it may sound like an experienced developer explaining the fix. That is exactly why the risk is easy to miss. We often treat fluency as a sign of accuracy. If an answer sounds organized, specific, and confident, our brain wants to trust it. But sounding right is not the same as being right. Sometimes the most dangerous mistake is the one that blends perfectly into a useful-looking answer. A common misunderstanding is to imagine a chatbot as a giant answer vault. You ask a question, it opens the correct drawer, pulls out the verified fact, and explains it nicely. Some AI systems can use outside tools or current information, but that is not the basic engine of generative AI. At the center is pattern-based language generation. It reads your prompt, the conversation before it, the tone you seem to want, and patterns learned from a huge amount of text. Then it produces the next likely piece of language, one step after another. This does not mean the system is useless or random. It can learn concepts and relationships. But a sentence that fits the conversation has not automatically been checked against reality. A better way to picture generative AI is as an improviser on stage. Give it a setup, and it plays the part. Ask for a lesson plan, and it becomes a teacher. Ask about a contract, and it sounds like a legal assistant. Ask for fitness advice, and it becomes a coach. Ask for a film script, and it becomes a writer. Its strength is adapting to the scene and keeping the language moving. But improvisation also has a weakness. When something important is missing, the performer may not stop the show. They may invent around the missing prop and continue. AI can do the same with information. If the question is vague, obscure, outdated, or built on a wrong assumption, it may fill the empty space with something that sounds complete. That is the ordinary shape of an AI hallucination. It is not always a bizarre, obvious invention. More often, it is a believable detail in the wrong place. The system may blend two similar events, treat an old rule as current, present a guess as certainty, or create a date, feature, quote, explanation, or name that feels official. The hardest part is that the rest of the answer may be useful. It might be mostly reasonable, with only one or two details that are false. But those details can matter. They might be a price, a deadline, a safety step, a legal condition, or a technical requirement. Because the surrounding answer feels coherent, the mistake can pass quietly from a chatbot into a message, report, video script, or decision. AI wrongness usually does not come from one simple failure. It enters through several doors. One door is missing or outdated information. The world changes quickly, and a model does not automatically know every new rule, price, product, or event unless it can check. Another door is ambiguity. If your question has multiple meanings, AI may choose one silently and answer as if that choice was obvious. A third door is the false premise. If you ask why something always works, the model may explain the supposed reason instead of challenging the word always. Then there is the presentation problem. AI is excellent at making information look finished. Bullet points, tables, technical terms, and confidence summaries can make weak claims feel strong. But formatting is only packaging. It is not verification. This does not mean AI is useless, or that every answer should be rejected. The safer habit is to assign it the right role. Treat it as a fast assistant, not the final judge. Let it brainstorm ideas, organize messy notes, rewrite a rough paragraph, compare options, or reveal possible blind spots. But when the answer affects real life, slow down. Medical choices, legal questions, investments, exams, product specifications, safety issues, and breaking news deserve extra checking. Do not only ask for the answer. Ask what assumptions are being made. Ask what information is missing. Ask which parts are uncertain. Ask where the answer would most likely fail if it were wrong. That turns you from a passive reader into an active reviewer. Imagine two paths. The first is bright, straight, and quick. AI gives you a complete answer in seconds, with no hesitation and no friction. The second path is slower. You check dates. You compare important claims. You question the premise. You ask whether a conclusion is a fact, an estimate, or an inference. AI often opens the first path because its talent is making language flow. But truth often requires the second path, where claims are tested instead of simply arranged. The goal is not to distrust every AI response. The goal is to avoid being hypnotized by smoothness. For small tasks, speed may be enough. For important decisions, one polished answer should begin the checking process, not end it. So why can AI answer confidently and still be wrong? Because it is not always a machine connected directly to truth. It is a generative system that turns context into convincing language. That ability is powerful. It can help us start faster, write more clearly, organize ideas, and explore angles we might have missed. But when facts are missing, the question is unclear, the premise is flawed, or the world has changed, it can still produce an answer that feels true before it has been checked. The future will not be about avoiding AI completely. It will be about using it with judgment. The safety belt is simple. When an answer feels too smooth, pause and ask one more question. Is this actually true?